yeah, this is a... Oh, I've heard of that book. Well, obviously I've heard of that book. It's so much.
Absolute genius.
I'm so smart. Don't we just love how organized I am on this channel? She kind of reminds me of the coronavirus. My camera is almost dying, but welcome to day 1 of the Indian Readathon. When I woke up today, I actually wasn't reading Indian Lit. I know, call me a faker. I literally just failed this readathon like the first hour or so, but I had to finish up Children of Blood and Bone by Chody Adeyemi, and I don't know when my camera is going to die, so I will update you guys in like 4 hours because we are going to the outlet to get clothes for my boarding school and for high school. But just know that I love this book. I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was really enjoyable. I loved almost everything about this book. And I don't know which book I want to read next, either Girl Like That or When Dimple Met Rishi. If you didn't watch my Indian Readathon TBR, I'll leave that linked up here. But yeah, Children of Blood and Bone got pretty depressing at times. So, and I know like A Girl Like That is going to end with both of our main characters dying in a car accident. So I don't know if I want to read it. My camera died. I think I was in the middle of a sentence. No clue what that sentence was for obvious reasons. But it is now 6 o'clock. I'm only 20 pages into A Girl Like That. I feel like this isn't the best book for a readathon because I feel like it's a book you have to take your time with because all the pages are really slow. They are jam-packed with so many details and like so many things about the character. And so I'm going to have to take my time with this book, so hopefully I can still read 80 more pages of it today, because if you guys have watched any of my other vlogs, you know that I like mathematically figuring out how many pages I need to read every single day. And I'm pretty sure for the 2 books, for A Girl Like That and When Dimple Met Rishi, it is 107 or approximately 107 pages per day. I have only read 20. And also, as has become an apparent theme, I did not upload a video today even though it is Saturday. The world just doesn't want to cooperate. It's my fault because I just rush everything at the end and I should do my work beforehand. But I just feel it's like so bad because I don't have the videos when I promised to have them. And I always say videos every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but it's more like Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday or whatever. But while we were on the car ride, I was editing and my phone was like dead. And so a Lumicrate, yes, not sponsored, I'm not a rep, obviously, but a Lumicrate came in clutch. So in one of their boxes, I filmed footage for this. I never actually posted that video because I lost the footage, but the box that I did get from them, they gave me this like power, what is it called, like charger thing. And I don't even know what these characters are from, but my phone was dead, and so I hooked up this charger thing to the phone, and it worked. Well, it almost was clutch under pressure, except the Wi-Fi wouldn't work. I was in my car for some reason. So now we're here with the bar, like, not having filled, like, it stayed here for, like, 10-20 minutes. That's tough. But with A Girl Like That, I was wondering, like, how this is Indian, because it's set in Jeddah, and that's in Saudi Arabia, and this book revolves around, like, the harsh rules in Saudi Arabia, especially around relationships and having them. But basically, the main character was born in Mumbai. The author was born in Mumbai, and she lived there until like 7 or so years old, I think. And then she moved to Jeddah. So yeah, that's how it's Indian. And it does reference India sometimes. So it's like, how is this Indian? Because I didn't want a speak to happen again. If you don't know the story of that, watch my Readathon vlog. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the story. You can definitely tell that the author was a poet. Because either there's the poet Benjamin O'Leary Sands, who writes really simplistically and it's really like easy to read, or you just have like so much purple prose. So like every other paragraph is like a memory that the character has. Like there's so many details, and that's what makes this book so slow. I am really enjoying it. I didn't know how I was going to feel with like the aspect of the story that like we already know what's going to happen to the characters. Like, there's no suspense in that, really. But I just think it helps the plot in a way. Because the attention then goes to, like, why this happened. What factors, like, Saudi Arabia and what it does caused this tragic event to happen. And I also was a little like interested about like how the perspective would be, but it's told by the main characters after they've died. They're like looking at their relatives, look at the scene of the crime or whatever, which is interesting. And I wonder if we're gonna just do that the entire time. I wonder how the story is going to be like told. I have a lot of questions, but that's what makes this book interesting. And hopefully I could pick up the pace a little bit more, because in the first few pages it was literally just backstory. If anyone can tell me like who these characters are, I'd really appreciate that, because this is actually stunning. Alright guys, so it is now 11 and I'm going to go to sleep. But I'm 40 pages into A Girl Like That. Since I did read like 100 pages in the beginning of the day, I'm okay with not reading that much today, as long as I can read 150 or so pages tomorrow. This book is just so hard-hitting. Like, let me read to you the ending of one of the chapters, because it was just such a good metaphor. Harry's Papa, it said, can be like splinters, digging into you when you least expect them to, holding tight and sharp, the way wood did when it slid under a fingernail. I felt Zaren's fingers tighten around my hand. I'm not letting you go, I said. This has the potential to be like one of my favorite books of all time, but like the slowness of it, the constant flashbacks, and I'm so confused on what's going on. But I feel like that's good, but that's also bad. We'll just see how it works in favor of the story. But I really think I'm still going to read it. I still think it's going to be 3.5 stars. Just such an interesting and important narrative, and I cannot wait to continue reading it. It's just confusing, but I'm okay with that. And also, if the footage of the mall, of all of that, is like grainy or worse than my normal vlog footage, it's because my camera was dead and I was filming with my phone. But yeah. Is it fully covered up? The lighting on this is not the best, but I guess we'll work with it. Also, you guys are viewing me from a land very, very high in the clouds, but we'll also work with that. This placement, you know, we're just gonna work with this. So this is the end of the day 2 of the Indian Readathon. And you know how I was saying before about A Girl Like That, like it's not a book you want to read for a readathon. Like, you want to absorb it, you want to take in every single page, every single word used. Well, we're now 2 days in, and I'm only 40 pages into A Girl Like That, and I don't think I'm going to be reading it for this readathon. I really am interested in it. I really think I'm going to like it, but I just don't want to read it for this readathon. I don't want to rush to read it. Now I have When Dimple Met Rishi, but I'm not in the mood to read it just yet. So my friend is coming over tomorrow, and he's going to bring Arusha and the End of Time, which, if you do not know, is a middle grade book based off of Hindu mythology, and I'm going to be reading it for the Indian Readathon. I will have 2 less days than I had in the beginning of the readathon, but I really think because the middle grade and because it's supposed to be like a thrilling fantasy book, that I can get through it in 2 days, and then I can get through When Dimple Met Rishi in 3. So yeah, that is the plan as of now. I just didn't want to read A Girl Like That for this readathon. I just didn't think it was right, but that does not mean I don't want to read it. I definitely want to read it. But I do want to talk about what books I got from the library, because I think yesterday, or no, the day before that, time is an illusion. I went to the library and I got 3 books. Well, I technically got 2 books. I renewed another one. So I'm just going to share with you guys the 5 books I technically have like taken out, but the other 2 are A Girl Like That and When Dimple Met Rishi. So the one I renewed is What If It's Us by Silvera and Becky Albertalli. If you do not know, this is our next chapter book club pick of the month for the month of August. So I'll leave our live show link, all the Goodreads group in the description. We're going to have our live show on Nidhi Reads channel on August 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully you can join us. But yeah, I checked this out like in the beginning of the month, even though I knew I wasn't going to be able to get into it and that I want to read it like later, so that my thoughts on it are more fresh before I go into the live show. But yeah, this is alright, so that was my mom. But yeah, this book is basically a meet-cute about Ben and Arthur meet at this post office, and they don't really know what the universe has in store for them. They don't really think anything is going to form. Maybe the universe wants nothing for them. I mean, they did get separated, but maybe the universe does want something from them. I mean, they did get reunited. And when they can't nail a second date or a third date or a fourth date, and they find out life isn't really like a Broadway show, they try to find the Broadway parts of life. That was not a very good description, and it was way cheesier than I expected it to be. But that's what you're gonna work with. But I think it's going to be a really cute contemporary romance. I really think I'm going to like it, and I just hope Arthur and Ben's perspectives are, well, scratch that. I don't really think I'm going to like it, because not many people in the book club in the book club Goodreads chat have liked it so far. I really just want the characters, in this type of book, the characters need to be real. They need to have problems. They need to have personalities. And so far, the people in the Goodreads chat have been saying that they don't really have character, which I'm worried about, but I know the writing is going to be good. And I think the plot will be alright. Not thrilling, but good enough for a contemporary romance. But we'll just see. It is a longer book as well. That is the book I renewed. And then I got They Both Died at the End, which, can we just admire how much work the publishers made into making this book? This fine white outer layer of this title that it's so good. The cover, just this clock, what is this called, inside dust jacket. It just feels so good. This thing, the font, these full black pages, it says such a good feel to it. And it's obvious the publishers put a lot of work into making this. But this is a book that I DNF'd when I originally read it. But that's because I just wasn't in the mood for this type of book at that time. So I'm still trying to get out of a reading slump, but I really think I'm going to like this book so much. I think the idea of this book is really, really good. And I don't like that What If It's Us is going to be my first Adam Silvera book, but the 5-year anniversary of this book is coming up. I'm pretty sure September 5th. I just really want to read it. I really think I'm going to like it. The pages I did read it, I remember liking the characters. I remember being really interested in what was going to happen next. The reading slump just was being a reading slump. I'm thinking of doing a 24-hour reading vlog for that book because I haven't done one in a while, and I think it'd be good because this book is set in 24 hours. I don't think I'm going to actually read it the times. I'm pretty sure Jesse the Reader was going to do that for a video. I don't think he actually did that because he hasn't posted the vlog and he read the book a while ago. But I think he was going to do that, and that's too much work. That's too much dedication. And then I checked out The View from the Cheap Seats by Neil Gaiman. I've already I haven't already completely read the entirety of this book, but I've read most of the essays, deckled edges. Let's just admire them. Can we please admire the deckled edges? Alright. Yeah, I just really like all of the essays in this. Basically, it's a collection of a lot of speeches and things Neil Gaiman wrote, and he just has so much intellectual and thought-provoking ideas and concepts, and he thinks a lot about things, and just seeing his creative process and some of the ideas he has and how effectively he portrays them in text, it's just a lot of fun. I really like this quote that he includes from Gerard Biard, who's the editor-in-chief of Charlie Hebdo, that growing up to be a citizen is to learn that some ideas, some words, some images can be shocking. Being shocked is a part of democratic debate. Being shocked is not. And this was when Neil Gaiman was he was getting death threats because of his first comic and some of the things he wrote about. And I just thought it was a really powerful essay. He has a lot of really interesting and thought-provoking essays, and I think it's a must read. But yeah, the main point of me sharing this library haul was to get some content to you guys. Just kidding. I actually just whenever I do library vlogs, I just want to share with you guys what I got, because it's kind of mean to show me going to the library and then not show you what I got from the library. But yeah, this was actually pretty low in terms of how many books I got from the library. Normally I get way more than this, but I didn't need that many. But yeah, I don't know if I told you guys, but I just filmed my 350 subscriber bookish Q&A. I'm about to edit that. I just uploaded it from my camera onto my phone. By the way, that background photo is so I got this one from my mom, and her photo was this picture of me that has just become a meme. I don't know why I just share that with you guys, but I know I'm not going to edit out. This future me is going to bully me. But yeah, I'm about to edit. It's only 13 minutes raw footage. Normally my videos are way longer than that in raw footage. I didn't want it to be too short because I put you guys through 14 minutes and you guys still watch it because you guys are amazing. Alright, so it is exactly an hour later, and I have finished editing the video, and I'm going to upload it. And so basically my video was almost 10 minutes, but not quite. So I did this random clip that's gonna be in this vlog that you guys have already seen, so I can make it 10 minutes, 5 seconds. Because I can't be that close to 10 minutes and not have it be that. And so, can we scroll? Can we please scroll? There we go. I'm going to save this video. Can I do it in 4K? Yes, I can. And it's exporting. I spotted a Kyle. Alright guys, so my library gave us these 2 cards basically for just reading so much during the summer. I actually signed up for it a week or so after it ended, but they gave me $75 in Amazon gift cards. And so today I think you should get back a little.
It's bright. Light is bright. Ow. It hurts eyes.
Alright guys, so today I have my very tall, haggard looking Kyle.
You dragged me out of a cave to do this.
And I asked him to choose, I think, how many books did you choose? 7?
Let me count.
I asked him to choose 7 or so books that I could buy with those $75. And I know like 2 of the books or 3 of the books that he chose, but I'm super excited. Kyle knows my reading taste pretty well. I mean, he introduced me to the Miss Peregrine series, which obviously A Map of Days is one of my favorite books of all time. So he pretty much, every single book he recommends to me, I end up loving. So I have high hopes. And I'm thinking of making a video like later on where once I've read all the books you like showed to me, I'm gonna review them and see how good you did. But without further ado.
Yeah, some of them I just recommended to you since they're very well known.
Oh, you just saw like 10,000 reviews?
No, not for those. I mean, like, The Da Vinci Code was an interesting thriller suspense book.
And you really liked that.
Oh, that was excellent.
Yeah, I remember you reading it. You were really into it.
Yes.
Alright, so what is the first book you chose for me? We were listening to 10 hours of Shrek screaming earlier. And
Or something along those lines.
Yeah, it just randomly played.
Alright.
High quality content.
The first book is called No Exit.
No? Oh, I've heard of that book. Well, obviously I've heard of that book. It's on my computer.
Absolute genius.
I'm so smart. Ooh, this is a thriller. Alright, come back in the frame. Alright, so why did you choose this book?
It looks fun.
It looks fun.
Yes, also...
You know I don't normally read thrillers.
Yeah, but I like quite a few mystery things. I have read many stories about murder.
You think I'm gonna like
and
this?
or suicide. It looks really good.
No, I was
There to
thinking
there.
Huh? Just points to the summary.
There to there.
This is what it's about. No, that's what I should do in my Booktube channel whenever I'm like summarizing books. Read the Goodreads summary. It starts at the top of the page and ends at the bottom of the page.
That is absolute genius.
It looks alright. It looks like it has an interesting concept. Like a determined young woman. 4 strangers. I like when like strangers have to like come together and like be friends and stuff. That's interesting.
There's another famous mystery novel about strangers. It's called And Then There Were None.
Oh, I've heard of that book.
Pretty much everyone ends up dead.
Well, the title is And Then There Were None. It's pretty straightforward.
True.
It's kind of like they both die at the end. You kind of know that they both die at the end. I know, it's absolutely
That's
insane.
a massive spoiler. How could you do this to me?
Alright, what is the next book you chose? If We Were Villains. This is like one of the most popular books on Booktube, I think. Like so many people think of this as one of their favorite books. So why did you choose this one?
It has an interesting concept. You said I had to choose a couple of realistic fiction.
Well, so we have similar reading tastes, but Kyle likes more fantasy than I do. So that's why I just didn't want him to choose like all fantasy books. Like from the cover, it looks horror-ific, but from the description, it looks like it's about like Shakespeare.
Horrific.
Horrific.
I mean, to be fair, Shakespeare had one of the signs of it is someone holding the skull, like top
Really?
half of a skull. Yeah.
Oh. You know, like a lot of interesting details. Like today, we were watching a Jesse the Reader video, and he was reviewing Carry On and Wayward Children, and
And Wayward Son.
And he was like, did you know that Ray Morrell got these titles from a song? And the song...
Carry On, Wayward Son by Kansas.
Apparently it's really popular, and the third book is called Anyway the Wind Blows, which is from a popular Freddie Mercury song. So this man...
Well, Freddie Mercury and Queen from Bohemian Rhapsody, one of the most well-known Queen songs, along with We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions.
I've heard of We Will Rock You.
Yes, it's very popular at sporting events.
Yeah. Are you just going to say you chose every single book because it looked, like, interesting? Because no doubt it looked interesting, you chose it.
Well,
why did it look interesting?
Well, the premise is interesting. And there's dead bodies.
Dead bodies!
There are 7 actors. One of them ends up dead.
Oh, so they're...
And they have to explain to the police how they're innocent, how it happened, and how they relate to the entire mystery.
Oh.
That's all I know from the summary. I need to read the book.
Oh, I thought it was way different. So it's basically about this actor that is, like, put in jail for a crime he doesn't do, and so when he gets out of it...
No, it says for a murder they may or may not have committed.
May or may not. What if the plot twist is that they actually just did the murder?
You see, that's like having a murder mystery, and then...
You know you're not even in frame. You weren't in frame that entire time.
It's like having a murder mystery, and the genius detective ends by saying, that person is the most likely culprit. We do not have all the evidence, so maybe they committed the murder. We have no idea.
They might have not, but there's no evidence that said they did not, so they obviously did commit the murder.
I mean...
it's flawless. It's flawless logic.
Absolutely flawless.
What is the next book you chose? I'm super excited. If We Were Villains, I am really excited about.
This one I'm not
as
interested in as you would be.
You think I would be interested in this, but you wouldn't be interested in this?
Yeah, I feel like you'd be more interested in this than I would. There are also 2 other books like that.
It has a really pretty cover.
It has lots of colors.
So it's about a stereotypical high school. And then...
Stereotypical high school involves delinquent students smoking weed in the bathroom, doing drugs, and much more things that are more or less illegal.
I was just going to go with the description that said the same cliques, prejudices, and cafeteria food, but we can go with that too.
That works too.
So basically there's this scandal that goes on in the school, and everyone in the school has something to hide related to the scandal.
7 people.
And so everyone starts hunting for like a scapegoat for someone to blame. It has a book with 7 main protagonists.
I guess.
I really want to see how that works. Because that's a lot of protagonists that you have to create individual personalities for. And it doesn't look like people really like this book. It has a 3.84, which isn't bad, but it isn't good.
I judged because it had the 7 deadly sins on the cover. Yeah, I mean, in general, people seem to have liked it.
Mm-hmm. Most of my friends haven't read it, which is shocking. I thought, so what is... Wait, why did we ask why you chose this book?
Mostly because you gave me the condition that, yes, it had to be realistic fiction.
What book did you choose? You read it.
Alright, fine. A Monster Calls.
By?
Loch Ness Monster.
Patrick Ness.
I was close.
I'm pretty sure Patrick Ness wrote one of my favorite books of all time, The Knife of Never Letting Go. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he has.
I don't know. I haven't read it.
Oh, it's one of my... You really...
It's somewhere on the bookshelf.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Mm-mm. I read from the library. But, like, it is so good. I think you really might like it as well. You should read A Darker Shade of Magic, too.
What now?
A Darker Shade of Magic. I am entrusting this holy book.
Alright, great. I'm going to start reading it after this. Yes?
Because it's one of my favorite books of all time.
Alright, I feel like that was the correct answer.
Alright, so this book has a lot of key... Well, alright, why did you choose this book? Don't say cover, don't say concept. Why did you choose this book?
It has an interesting name. It was pretty highly rated.
Oh yeah, it has a 4.36 through 200,000 ratings. That's really good.
Yeah, and just reading through some of the, just breezing over the synopsis, it seems to have an interesting concept. It has everything in one paragraph.
So he has the same dream every single night. Then one day he wakes up to a visitor at his window. And, wait. The visitor is ancient elemental, a force of nature. And it wants the most dangerous thing of all from Connor. It wants the truth. That is an interesting premise.
Yes.
And it's about
I
love.
wonder if the kid dies.
I mean, a monster does call.
I'm betting the mother dies.
This is one of Jesse the Reader's favorite books of all time. See, this is a different description. Connor wakes up to find a monster outside. Oh, that was very... the other one just said it's ancient, but this one is just, it's a complete monster.
Fun.
Alright guys, so it is now August 18th. So what is that? 15, 16, 17, day 4. And I don't know the last time I updated you guys. I think the last clip you saw was me with Kyle and he was choosing the books I picked out. And then the memory card got full, so that ended abruptly. And then today, either my camera was dead or I was trying to empty my memory card. So now we're here. Don't we just love how organized I am on this channel? I wanted to update you guys this entire day because we have so much to talk about. But let's just get right into it. Earlier today, I uploaded my 350 subscriber bookish Q&A, so you can watch that right here. But in that video, I asked you guys your favorite book, and oh my god, you guys are just amazing. Either people were commenting like their favorite book, or congrats on 350. We were talking about Indian food in the description, which just makes me so happy. And I got so many comments, and I just thank you guys. But yeah, if you haven't watched that video, definitely go watch it. But I have changed up my entire game plan when it comes to actually reading, because we are at day 4, and I haven't finished a book yet, which is rare for me in a readathon. By now, I should have finished one, been a good way through a second. We're only like 70 pages into one, and 10 pages into another. Yep, I'm reading 2 books at the same time because I need to get some reading done, and I feel like while I don't really do that often, I just need to have that variety, and I just need to be productive while not having to read like 200 pages every single day to accomplish my TBR for this readathon. So like I said before, when my friend came, I got Arusha and the End of Time by Roshani Chokshi. This is a middle grade book about Arusha, who has this tendency to lie about so many things because she just wants to fit into her very rich private school. And so when these kids from that private school basically ask her to prove that something she said about this cursed lamp is true, she lights the lamp and immediately chaos ensues. And this is worse chaos than my chaos, by a long shot. She unwittingly frees the sleeper, an ancient demon who's intent on awakening the god of destruction. Classmates and mother are frozen in time, and it's up to Eru to save them in Spider-Man pajamas. So yeah, she doesn't have a lot going for her. I feel like right off the bat, it's feeling like it's really hard to read a middle grade book for some reason. Like I'm trying to read it as if it's a YA book because I just read so much YA. But that's not how I'm supposed to read it. It's a middle grade book. It's accomplishing different things. The pacing is different. The writing is different. The characters are supposed to be different. It's just hard for me to like get into and get used to, but I feel like I'm slowly getting there. Like if this was a YA book, I wouldn't be liking it, but since it is middle grade, I feel like it is a pretty good middle grade book. Again, I don't know much about the middle grade genre. But with those thoughts, like it doesn't really have good pacing. Like, it just goes from scene to scene, and it just goes so quickly, and you don't really have time to process anything, which I guess is the point, so that you keep middle schoolers reading, you keep people reading. That just makes it harder for me to get into this book. But oh my god, the humor is so good. I've laughed out loud so many times in this book. Like Aru is such a funny character, and again, that's probably a thing she does to make people keep reading. But it also has a lot of good lessons about like accepting yourself and becoming a better person. And I just think Aru is such an interesting character. I don't really know anything about Minnie. Right now, she just seems like the same exact person Aru is. There's no real like difference between them. But Boo, oh my god, he's such a good comic relief character. And I'm having a lot of fun learning about Hindu mythology. If you didn't know, I'm 6, so I don't know much about the Hindu gods. And it's really fun like learning about their mythology. I know a little bit, but not as much as I should. I'm not a religious person, I don't believe in God, but I think it's a really important part of life. My life still centers around religion in a way. Like I've met a lot of good friends through my religion, and obviously my family is still sick, and we are a sick family. But yeah, I am really enjoying this book. And then, When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. I think this is going to be, if not one of my favorite books of all time, such a good book. Not just because I can relate to it, because man, can I relate to it. I mean, asking for something you want from your parents that is a lot of money, and you know they wouldn't agree to, in front of other people, other guests, so that they can't say no in front of them. Such an Indian thing. I don't know if other people do this, but we always do it. It is the thing. Like, say we're eating, right, in Gurdwara, and I need something, so I'm just like, hey, can I get this? And then someone else is listening, and then my mom's gonna have to say, I'll think about it. And then when we get home, I'll say, you said you'll think about it. And then eventually I'll guilt her into giving me it. It's a foolproof strategy. I'm just kidding. Slightly. Also, I don't know if like other people do this as well, but when you say that you'll come in 5 minutes, but you know there's no way you're coming in 5 minutes, you're gonna come in 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. You are not gonna come that quickly. Yeah, this book is really relatable, and I'm also having a lot of fun like reading about some Indian foods, because while I am Indian, right, I still don't know like as much as I want to about my culture. Like I know a lot, but I don't know as much as I want to. And like sometimes I read stuff in these books and I'm like, what is that, or what is that? And asking my parents about it and like bonding with them over like our culture is also just a lot of fun. And it's been a great experience, and I cannot wait to see where this book goes. And I really like Dimple's character. So yeah, super excited about this book. But yeah, hopefully I can become a better vlogger as this goes by, and hopefully I can accomplish my goals in terms of reading. I still need to do the Indian Readathon challenges. It was watch an Indian movie. I don't know if I'm going to watch 3 Idiots, or it's this movie with 2 really popular songs with Emmy Virk in it. And I don't know if I'm going to watch that one. But yeah, I really need to do that. I need to show Indian food, which I eat every day, so I guess I'll just vlog it right after this. And then I forget the other challenge. Was it just to read an Indian book? I forget. Oh, by the way, you guys are going to stop getting videos in 4K because they take so much time to upload. And also, apparently, I always mention the NBA in my vlogs. I don't know if people click off when I mention them, but I just love the NBA so much. The playoffs started yesterday, and we are getting the highest quality of basketball. So excited to see where everything goes. My favorite team is not looking so good right now, but I think they'll pick it up. They have a game later today, and I don't care when it ends. I'm going to be watching that entire game because I want to see if they are the team they were before quarantine hit, when they were like the best offensive team in the league. I just hope to see a glimmer of that team. And also, you guys may know that I got a phone recently. Since I'm going to boarding school, I have my own phone because I won't be able to come home for 6 entire weeks. And so with that phone, I got a phone case, guys. It is a bookish phone case of Phil Stamper's book, The Gravity of Us. I got it from his merch shop, and I saw it and I was like, I want this. If I get any phone case, this is the one I want. And although it's a little bit blurry, I just love it. It's basically the cover, and it just has this illustration of them. It feels really good. The text is like bold, and you guys can't see it. But yeah, this phone case is just everything to me. I love it so much. But if you guys want to hear my thoughts on The Gravity of Us, which I rated 5 stars, you can go watch my Romanceathon vlog. That should be my last update for the day. Alright guys, so it is now 4 o'clock on, what is it today, the 19th? And I'm 116 pages into Arusha and the end of time. I just found out that on the 22nd I will be busy for like the entire day. My life is starting to get way busier now, because of my school starting. I need to already prepare for tests. I have some summer stuff to do. My life is already starting to get a lot busier, which is why I haven't read as much as I wanted to this week. But I really want to just try to finish up Arusha today. I know that seems like a lofty goal, but I mean, it is a pretty fast-paced book. It's a middle grade book, and I feel like it is interesting enough for me to keep reading it today if I put the time in. And then I'll be good to just try to finish up When Diplomat Rishi. So if I can finish Arusha or get close today, that would be amazing. Page 200 would be awesome, but right now I'm only at page 116. I'm really liking Minnie's character. She's just such a anxious person. She just gets worried about everything. She kind of reminds me of the coronavirus. When they got this key thing, they were like, she was like, oh, don't touch it. We might have germs, and she didn't want to give Aru a high five, so she just they just touched elbows. That reminded me so much about the coronavirus. But yeah, I'm liking Aru's character, I'm liking Minnie's character, and I'm just really liking where the story is going. I still don't really like the pacing. I'm not loving this book, but I'm trying to think of it as a middle grade book. It's not a YA book, and that's how I'm trying to think about it. There is a book tag based around this book, and it's the 3 key challenge, because in this book they're trying to find these 3 keys, and so I might just do that later today. But yeah, other than that, I got 100 followers on Instagram, so thank you guys. I have horrible bookstagram photos. I'm not a very good bookstagrammer, but if you want to follow me there, you can at Roup and Books, I think. I update my current, what I'm currently reading, what I'm currently working on, what my current goal is, and my bio. So that is definitely something cool. And I always advertise or promote my videos. But yeah, also I wish there were more sick fiction books. Whenever we talk about Indian YA books, it's mostly Hindu and YA books. Well, that's okay. It's still Indian representation, and we love it. I just wish we got more Sikh representation. There's no Sikh YA books. I was searching for them. There aren't any. I don't think so. And I just hope that can be changed. I am seeing myself in books, but I'm not seeing my particular culture in books. And I feel like Sikh people are just underrepresented as well. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Let's watch that again. Why not?
Love me harder. I hate myself. Now that I will probably be busy the entirety of the 22nd, and I wasted the first 2 or 3 days of this readathon, I'm really just scrambling here, trying to do something, right? Right now I'm at page 183 of Arusha. I think the last time I talked to you guys I was at page 120. I think I still might finish it today, but I'm aiming to get to 200. 250 would be amazing. But I really don't think I can finish When Diplomat Rishi and actually enjoy it. I don't want this to be a 24-hour readathon. Whenever I do a 24-hour readathon, I prepare for that mentally. I prepare my TBR. And When Diplomat Rishi, I just don't want that book to be a 24-hour readathon book. There are specific books that are 24-hour readathon books for me. That just isn't one of them. I was looking online and I was like, what are some short Indian books that I could read? And then I remembered. I had a thought. Right, so I remember going to India, was it last year already? And I think we were on the airport there, and there was a bookshop, and so obviously I went to it. And I picked up this little book called Upon an Old Wall Dreaming by Ruskin Bond. And I was like, this guy has to be born in India, or somewhere around there, right? So I searched it up. I'm so scared. Is he born in India? Is he not born in India? And I'm pretty sure he was born in British India, Ruskin Bond. This book is so short. It's 180 or so pages. And I would definitely be able to finish these, especially because they're little stories. I remember reading a few of these, but definitely not all of these, because I had some other books that I was reading. I think I was reading Oliver Twist in India, and then I just never picked this one back up. I also have The Life of Pi, which my friend Kyle gave to me. Well, he didn't give it to me, he let me borrow it, and I absolutely love the movie based off this book. If you have not watched it, it is such a good movie, and I'm pretty sure I watched it many, many times. The font is so small, and there are just so many pages, so I don't think this would be at all a good fit. And then I looked at the Indian Readathon book for this week, which is The Namesake. The Goodreads length for that book is 190 pages, so it's probably around like 180 or so pages, and I was like, that would be good as well. And I mean, it is longer and it just doesn't look as interesting as Upon an Old Wall Dreaming. So I think it'd be a really, really good idea to just pick up it Upon an Old Wall Dreaming tomorrow or the day after that, because I can just go right through it. And I'm so much more happy with that decision. I just cannot get a good camera angle. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm really liking Arusha. Why don't we sit down? I don't like standing for updates. Nobody else stands in updates. You guys remember Mukbang with Sakrup? What was that vlog for? Was that for Readathon? I think it was. Hello, how are you doing? I like this a lot. Like, why isn't this my actual setup? Jesse the Reader has this table where he does Bookstorm. And I feel like this could be a really good table for that. It is in my kitchen, so I don't know. And I don't really like that stuff, but I feel like it could be good. But anyway, with Arusha and the End of Time, I'm really enjoying it. Right now it's a 4 or 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really am liking the characters and how they've progressed and learned so much through this book. My dad came to get some food, so I forget what I was talking about. But I think I was saying like how it's too easy for the characters to like get what they want. Like they're just like, all right, to the next key. Oh wait, the sleeper showed up. Let's just banish him away for the 3rd time in the book. Oh, and there's the key. It's jumping right in front of us. And I mean, it is a middle grade book. Like, I don't know how to rate a middle grade book, but I'm just really enjoying this story. I really like the characters. I think that's what I was talking about. And it's definitely keeping me like thrilled and in the book. Which when I say a readathon book, this is a readathon book. And that's thrilling and engaging and exciting. And this definitely is one. And on the back, this has blurbs from Shannon Messenger and Ian Colfer. I don't know the other 2 authors who both have longer blurbs. I've definitely heard of Ian Colfer because I think he wrote the Artemis series, and Shannon Messenger is obviously the KOTLC series, which so many of you guys want me to read, and I will. But yeah, this book is like funny. It doesn't really take itself too seriously as it's a middle grade book, and that's just making it really, really fun. So yeah, I'm really happy that like Upon an Old Wall Dreaming is Indian. It's technically British Indian because the author was born when Britain was still in control of India, but still it's the same place. I will update you guys later when I do the 3 key book challenge. Ooh, the actual video setup. Should I actually use this for updates? Nah, I like to keep like my vlogs more casual, so yeah. We'll just use this for the book challenge, which is the 3 key book challenge inspired by Arusha and the End of Time. This was created by Jesse from Jesse the Reader. And it's based on these 3 keys that Arusha has to get in this book in order to enter the Kingdom of Death so that she can beat the God of Destruction. So today I will be recommending you 3 books based on those 3 keys. So yeah, I'm not going to waste your time here. I really wanted to do this challenge because I'm reading Arusha. So let's get right into it. Our first key is Spring of Youth. Pick your favorite childhood book. So I'm going to go with the series that like really inspired me as I grew up, and I feel like I got a lot of people into reading, and that is of course the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series by Jeff Kinney. I think there are like 13 books now, and just reading those books and having fun reading those books was just so illuminating to me. Seeing his life through his like perspective, which was just so weird but raw at the same time, and just how much he struggled, how unlucky he was, but how funny he was. It was just so much fun. How much I related to it and found myself in those books, I will always hold dear and near to my heart. Alright, so the next key is A Bite of Adult Food. I was about to say adult food. Alright, so the next key is A Bite of Adulthood. Our next key is A Bite of Adulthood, a book that transitioned you into reading more adult books. And hi, I'm 13. I've only read 1 adult book, and that is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I will say a book that transitioned me into reading more YA is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Just how well written it was and how much I related to it. I just loved how well written it was, how it tackled these important issues of death and meaning and love in such a good way. It was heartbreaking, it was well written, it had amazing characters and plot, and I just fell in love with YA. I was like, I want to read more books like The Fault in Our Stars. That's how I discovered YA. and I will always hold this book near and dear to my heart because of just how important it was for me to get into the YA genre. And this book is just so sad, it's so heartbreaking, but it's also just so good. Alright, so the last key is A Sip of Age, a book that you will read until you're old, when your wrinkles have wrinkles. And I am just going to list a few. I feel like I will want to read like a lot more like thrilling books because I probably will have the best attention span when I'm older. I don't know how that works, but I don't think I will. So probably like a lot, like A Darker Shade of Magic, The Knife of Never Letting Go, Natural Blood and Bone because it's like 500 pages. I'm looking for Last, although I won't really relate to it as much. I probably won't look to as much as I will the fantasy books. Probably Frankly in Love because it is easier to read. Alright, so that is the 3 key book challenge. This video was not sponsored. I don't need to say that, but like this video was not sponsored. I just wanted to do this challenge. It looked like fun. Alright guys, so I have really no update. Books with Chloe, not Read with Chloe. I was hosting this read and I read like 5 or 10 pages during it, maybe. And I'm right now on page 193. But yeah, I need to watch the NBA game today and hope, pray, that Dallas wins. Alright guys, it is now 12 o'clock. Or around there, I think before like 11:50 maybe. I'm 200 pages into Arusha. See you guys tomorrow. Alright, hey guys, so it's now 3:30 on what is time? The 20th. I've not read at all yet today, but I just wanted to update you guys because my parents just agreed, well, my mom agreed, to get me the Albertalli box for Addie LaRue. It is basically this exclusive box. It's going to have the Addie LaRue book and like gold foliage. It's going to be side, and then like 6 bookish items based off of the book, and I cannot wait to get it. It's gonna come closer to the release date, which is in October, so it'll be like an early birthday present, and I cannot wait to unbox it for you guys, even though I'm probably going to be at my boarding school when it comes. But yeah, I was just uploading footage from the past week onto my phone for editing to just see how long the video is right now, and right now it is 77 minutes. So right now my camera is dead because I've had to upload that much footage onto the phone. But I just wanted to update you guys. Today the Lakers played the Trailblazers, and if they do not win, I will give up on life. And yeah, but yeah, I need to read today. I want to finish at Arusha today because I'm pretty excited for where it's going to go. I just have not like had the time to pick it up yet today. I've just been watching YouTube, which is it's very important and very necessary. I was watching Inside Out because I watched it in like 4th grade, and I forgot like most of the stuff that happened in it. So I just wanted to like refresh my memory and like all of the stuff. It is a very sad but really important movie as well, and I had a lot of fun rewatching it. And I think it has a really good message about like how sadness is also a part of life. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. I just want to make noise. Please, can you try one time? Hey guys, so it is now around 11:30 on the 20th of August. I'm now 304 pages into Arusha on the End of Time, and this new subplot was just introduced, and I really am enjoying it. I really think it adds a whole new complex layer to the story that I really love, and I think it's going to make the story so much more interesting. And in the scene where the chapter just ended, it was literally the main part of the scene, and it left on such a cliffhanger, but I wanted to end there because I need to go to sleep. So I cannot wait to finish this book tomorrow and just see where it goes. And I'm honestly okay if I only read Arusha this week. Like, this week was pretty busy, and like I didn't even stick to my original TBR. Like, my original TBR was A Girl Like That and When Dimple Met Rishi, and I am not reading any of those books right now. So with the changing of the TBRs, like with like my life being busy and like getting ready to go to boarding school, I'm okay with just reading one book this week. I'm completely okay with that. But if I can get to A Pun and a World Dreaming, even make a dent in it, I'll be happy with that. But I know I'm going to finish Arusha. Like, I cannot wait to see where it goes. And I also just landed an author interview. You can try to find out like who the author is from an underrated like recommendations video. One of the authors on that list I got an interview with, so I'm super excited about that. I love his debut book so much, and I cannot wait to show you guys the interview. Well, I haven't really filmed it yet, but still, it's going to be so much fun. It's just going to be an hour of us talking about books and writing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. See you guys tomorrow. tomorrow. Okay guys, so I just finished up Arusha and the End of Time, and it was really, really good. I'm basically just going to be restating what I wrote in my Goodreads review, so you could just go read that to find my full thoughts on it. But I really liked this book. I thought it was a really compelling adventure, and it had enough plot twists and big reveals to keep the story consistently interesting and fun to read. I really liked Boo as a comic relief character, and overall the humor really shined in this book. It was just so funny at all times, and I just thought Aru and Minnie were just such great main protagonists. Minnie was more intellectual, so more worrisome, and then Aru was just more practical and impatient. We need to do this now. Let's get to doing this now. And she didn't really that much think about the effects of her action. I just thought them as a pairing, as sisters, was really effective in this book. And although the world was confusing at times and the pacing and the writing wasn't the best, I think since it is a middle grade book, I'll give it a pass for that reason. That is a middle grade. Again, I wish, and I wrote an entire paragraph on this, I wish we had Sikh representation in YA books. I was gonna say more Sikh representation, but in all the Indian books I tried to read for this readathon, there wasn't one mention of the Sikh religion. And that is just horrible. That is disgusting. I feel like people don't know that there's this entire other religion in India other than Hindus. People don't know that the Sikh religion is there and that it is thriving and that there's so many people that belong to it. All we ever talk about when it comes to India is the Hindu religion. And that is not a minor complaint. That is something that I wish didn't happen. Hindu people are always just so represented in the media, and we never get any Sikh people represented anywhere. And I just wish that wasn't the case. When I write a book, I'm most definitely going to be having a Sikh character. Even if I don't personally follow my religion, I just wish I could see it represented, even mentioned. It's not even mentioned at all. There was only one mention of even Punjab or Punjabi, our language. That's not even the Sikh religion, that's just the other language in India. The Gujarati language was mentioned, the Hindu language was mentioned, but not at all the Punjabi language in Arusha. And while this book was based on Hindu mythology, I just wish we could have had a mention of it. And even of what I read of A Girl Like That and When Dimple Met Rishi, there was no mention. And the only place where I saw Punjab was in Upon an Old World Dreaming. Yeah, let's talk about Upon an Old World Dreaming. Today is the 21st. Tomorrow is the last day of the Indian Readathon. And I don't know if I want to read Upon an Old World Dreaming. I'm pretty happy with finishing up Arusha and the End of Time, with how hectic this week has been. It's just going to get more hectic from here because I had this idea to plan out my videos for the entire month of September, just so I can get into the groove and focus on my school and my private school when I go to it, instead of having to film videos as well. I'll gradually get into actually filming videos at my school. And so I made the schedule, since I'm changing my upload schedule to I think Tuesday and Saturday, I'm just removing Thursday. I made the schedule of all the videos I will be uploading in the entire month of September. And I made this film schedule, and I'm going to be filming at least one video every single day until the day I leave, which is the 29th. And I think there are 2 days that I'm going to have to film 2 videos. And that's just a commitment I'm willing to make because I care about this channel so much. Yeah, that is where we are at right now. This vlog, editing it will be hectic because I need to make my card longer, and I don't even know if I got all the clips onto my phone. I may miss some clips in the end product, but I should get at least 99% of what I filmed. And I hope it's a longer vlog. It may sound weird, but I really want to post a long vlog for some reason. All my vlogs end up being 20 minutes, and I'm okay with that. I just want a movie. I don't know, I want to be able to say that I made 40 minutes of one video of quality content. I don't know. But yeah, that's where we're at. Arusha definitely left on a cliffhanger. This 2 new characters were introduced. Aru just found something out. Their relationships that have to be rekindled. And I'm really excited. I'm obviously going to be continuing with this series. Alright, so I just filmed 2 videos. I don't know why I'm twisting you guys around like this, because I need to just start filming videos for the month of September. So I just filmed 2 videos. that you guys will not see. And it's gonna be weird because I've made this entire schedule where I'm going to be like filming a video a month before you guys actually see it, and that's gonna be weird. But I just want to schedule my videos because while I'm actually like in school, I want to just get into the groove of like when I'll have time to do these things and just get into the rhythm of boarding school. So that's why I'm scheduling all my videos right now, and I'm filming all of them right now. But yeah, I did not read up anything of Upon It while reading. I might just end this vlog here unless I read anything of it tomorrow. I'm pretty proud of where this went, but I'm not gonna do this ending closure thing right now because I don't want to do that right now, and I am too emotionally exhausted after filming 2 videos.